Empty chair, silent night, ghost of
Well, hello.
sorry
For the late posting. Honestly, I've been having a great time lately.
Broken glass on the
And
floor, whispers calling for
went to a
more.
party yesterday
Shattered
for
dreams,
the holidays. Man, did I have a good time watching the kids run around, going nuts. Toddlers, mostly, jumping around and having a good time. And they were having a good time. I mean, lately I have discovered something that is incredible about prom. There's lots to do, lots of people. And my teacher, my sensei, as it were, invited me to a party that was just out of this world. I mean, the guy had built an entire bar in his house, top class. I mean, the thing missing was people. Well, in the sense that you go to in a bar, but what made up for it was the people that were there, families, had a good time, partying. Of course, I drank in moderation, wine mostly, and when I sat down and talked to the people there, it brought me home to my family. Maybe you remember what it's like to be part of a family, actually. And I've been doing a lot of thinking on that, in the sense that I didn't post anything I normally would on like Saturday. It's now Sunday, because I was thinking about just not doing it anymore. And what inspired me with this current video is thinking about that. If I started this channel wanting my family to know what I've been doing, well, why stop? I mean, they want to know what I do. I think. I don't know. So when I got in touch with myself again, actually this morning, and I thought about it, and I said, I gotta post something. So I started exploring things like things to do around Prump. There's a whole lot. Prump is just loaded with stuff to do. And I was worried about not having content, but there is content here. For instance, Sanders Winery, which I'm exploring now. I mean, when I looked at the video,
oh, you can see the winery there.
That's very loud. How can I put this? I wanted to explore the world, but I'm finding it difficult to explore the world with my better half. I think about her constantly. And I mean, in the sense that I wish she were here, but she can't be here, other than in spirit. And I feel her spirit everywhere I go. For instance, when I went to the party, I brought along, the usual wine, the usual desserts. And a game she absolutely took to. She loved it. It's called Shut the Box. And we got it in Jamestown, Virginia, when we were on one of our, I think, trips to explore the world together. And she fell in love with the game. But she didn't understand the intellect she was up against, and I beat her consistently. And she just absolutely hated it that I was winning consistently. And so when I thought about it, I realized it wasn't so much a competition as an enjoyment of life. And she couldn't enjoy life if she didn't have a chance to win. I don't know if you ever explored what Shut the Box is. It was invented in the 1600s. Very ancient game. And I shared it with the group that I was with partying yesterday. And they absolutely fell in love with it. They were rolling dice, you know, like it's, you know, part of gambling, I guess. I don't know. I left the game there. It was her favorite game, the game we played consistently. And I donated it to the kids. The kids didn't get it, but they were too busy doing the jumping thing and the jumperoo that they inflated for the kids to enjoy. Some of them threw up in the game, which caused a situation, but I found it fascinating that the kids were just there for the moment, and they were really going around. Now, a professional caterer catered the event, and they had sandwiches and whatnot that caterers provide. I ate a sandwich, of course, part of it anyway. And my sensei, who was a former bouncer in a bar, bartended. That was quite the experience. To see him stand there and go, "What do you want to drink? I can make anything." Now, he was a bouncer, not a bartender, but I guess he picked up a few things working in the bar. And we all had a good time. Partying. I was there for, what, 5 or 6 hours. Just enjoying the moment. And it was a moment for me. Made me think of my times when I had my kids with me. And we had our own party. Barbecuing, whatever. And just sat there and, how can I say this? It was eye-opening for me. I miss my family. I miss being with my kids. I miss being with everybody I've ever known. But I suddenly made a new family. And they were all excited to have me there. I guess because I smiled a lot. And which I did. And what was fascinating to me was the moment I experienced that epiphany of having a family. And even though it wasn't my own family, I kind of got an experience with being with the family. And they were all drinking and having a good time. I hope in moderation. I don't know. I didn't see everything they drank. They were doing tequila shots and shots of tequila and expressing their mood of the moment. And it was fascinating to see them party in a way that I have never experienced in a long time. So what happened is my sensei, being the bartender, never once looked at me. At least in the eye, I don't know. I mean, he invited me to the party. I was his guest, and apparently everybody accepted me as his guest. And it was kind of uncomfortable for me, but only briefly. So I sat there and drank a glass of wine that I bought. Well, oddly enough, the wine bottle that I brought as a gift was already there. Someone else has brought one of the same thing. It's like two women going to the party dressed in the same dress. If you get that kind of moment. But anyway, I sat there and was shooting the shit with them and having a good time partying and crap like that. And when I was sitting there, we were telling jokes, and I was telling jokes. And they didn't get most of my jokes. I don't know why. Maybe because they were a younger generation. I tell jokes from the past. I told a joke about when Kathy and I were kids and we were growing up, and wind just blowing everywhere, and she was wearing this cute little dress, and I looked down and said, "Hey, I sure wish the wind would blow your dress up." Kathy looked at me and said, "Lazy?" It floored me. Cheers. My experience in life has been mostly in the moment. And I was definitely in the moment with this party. I mean, kids running everywhere. And one little kid, a little toddler, He was probably maybe at best a year old, maybe 8 months. Was walking around in a dirty diaper. Kids do that. One of the ladies goes, "You need to change that diapers, kids." Wait, you need to change that kid's diapers. I got it wrong. But one of the ladies jumped up and they immediately grabbed the kid and said, "Okay, we can handle this." And they got him cleaned up, and the kid was like, "Why did you do that? I was enjoying the moment." It was obvious the kid just was happy wandering around with a dirty diaper. And that's an odd thing to say, but the kid truly looked at me and go like, "Help me, get me out of this moment." And I couldn't do it. I mean, I'm just sitting there sipping wine and looking at the kid going, "You're on your own, kid." How expressive is that in life? Wow, that was a... I gotta admit, when I went back to the RV, I was like, holy crap. I'm so full of emotion right now. I'm so full of joy and happiness. I mean, it's the holidays. And I sat there and thought about my family. I'm thinking, you know, what it would be like to just drive across country 4,000 or 5,000 miles and be with them. Which I could do, honestly. With the exception of the fact that I'm broke. Go figure. Usual things. I mean, I spend too much money doing frivolous things like enjoying my life. And so when I said to myself, I said, "Self, you've got some decisions to make in the long term about what to do with your life, because I'm getting old, you know. Hell, I am old. And the need to explore life lately has shown me a side of myself I didn't expect to find. Not that I'm lonely. I mean, I live a life of solitude. I have friends here at the park, and we play poker. Oh, by the way, I participated in a tournament this past Friday, and I made it to the final table, which is surprising considering how poorly I played in other poker games. And I won a prize, obviously, for being at the final table. But my physical health kind of grips me in the back, literally, and I can't concentrate because I can't overcome the pain. So I just pushed all in at the last moment. Didn't have a damn hand worth of shit. And one of my fellow players looked at me, read me, said, "You don't got shit, do you?" He asked me that question. I answered honestly. I said, "No, I don't have shit." You know, meaning the hands of poker. And he said, "I got you, don't I?" I said, "Honestly, I think you do." So he pushed all in, and we're sitting there, and it was 3 cards showing, 2 cards not showing. And he said, "I think I got you, don't I?" And I said, "Yeah, man, let's play poker." Hey, turned up his hands, and I turned up my hands, and they dealt the final cards, and sure enough, he had me. He goes, "I don't hope you mind, but I'm going to take all your chips." And he was smiling. And he's my next door neighbor, by the way. He lives in the trailer next door to me. And I said, "Dude, take them. I'm tired." And so they paid my $30 I won, which is $10 above the buy-in, which is 20 bucks. And I got up out of the chair, and I thought about staying to see who would actually win the final hand. But I was so tired, so worn out. I went back to my RV. And I'm pretty sure my neighbor won. He was so confident. He was like playing cards. They were all coming his way. Every damn hand, nearly. He had 3 hands in a row where he bet all in, and everybody folded. 3 hands in a row. Just collected all the chips that were blinds, semi-blinds or whatever, and just stacked up his chips. Was I jealous? No. We're playing poker. What the hell? Cards are yours or cards are not. And I had a good time. I had a good time sitting there shooting the shit with them. They banter a lot about what's going on in the world and politics, but I try to stay out of that. Politics are not my game. What interested me most was the fact that most of them were in the realm of being, how do I say this, on the edge of what people were most concerned about. The economy, price of gas, price of foods. They all talked about it. And being broke, price of foods, price of gas, you know, I got to take that in consideration with my finances. So, once again, I had a good time partying my ass off. Kids, don't be jealous, but this is where I'm living right now and how I'm living. And for those of you out there who don't see what I'm talking about, here's the point. You gotta live life to its fullest. Live life to its fullest. You do whatever you need to do to enjoy it. And that's my video.